When Lynda Carter won the title of Miss World USA, the whole country was enthralled with the beauty and self-assurance of this young Arizonan. They had no idea, however, that the crown was just the start of a life full of unforeseen detours. With her role as Wonder Woman, Lynda Carter entered the Hollywood industry and became the first female superhero figure to appear on television. Audiences were even more impressed by her since, in contrast to many other performers, she did her own fearless stunts, such as hanging from helicopters and fighting without a stunt double. However, Lynda's life story turned out to be more dramatic than any Wonder Woman episode. She fought hard to overcome her drinking and went through 2 unhappy marriages. In spite of these difficulties, Lynda remained resilient. She overcame everything, found herself again, and carried on living with the same fierce spirit as the heroine she had played. What gave Lynda the strength to go through the most difficult times in her life? You may be surprised by the response. To learn every amazing detail of Lynda Carter's amazing experience, watch this video through to the conclusion. Is it hard to believe that the first powerful female superhero figure on TV was a timid schoolgirl who was bullied? Lynda Carter had to endure a difficult upbringing and unrelenting work before she could become Wonder Woman, the embodiment of strength and confidence. Lynda Carter was born in Phoenix, Arizona, on July 24, 1951, and was raised in a multicultural household. While her mother, Juanita Cordova, was Mexican, her father was English-Irish. Growing up with her sister Pamela and brother Vincent, Lynda was the youngest of 3 siblings. Despite being surrounded by her family's affection, she did not have a perfect upbringing since she was often teased by her peers. She was called Olive Oil after the well-known figure from the Popeye comics because of her tall and thin build. Young Lynda, a Wonder Woman comics lover, found inspiration and comfort in the representation of a powerful, kind female heroine. The seeds for her future trip were sown by this adoration, which enabled her to overcome the bullying she experienced at school. Lynda also showed early musical ability. She joined her first band, Just Us, in high school, where the members played unusual instruments, including the conga drums and marimba. She then played with 2 of her cousins in the band The Relatives. For 3 months, the ensemble got the opportunity to play in the lounge of the Sahara Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. But since she was a minor, Lynda had to enter via the kitchen, which is a funny but striking reminder of her willpower. She joined the Garfin Gathering with Lynda Carter because she was so passionate about music. Her teammates gave her the moniker Wonder Woman, a foreshadowing of her future fame, since her performances this time had such a profound effect on the crowds. Lynda's determination to achieve her goals led her to take a risk. Despite being chosen most talented by her classmates, she left Arizona State University. She was prepared to forgo her family's planned academic career in order to follow her creative goals. It was a big risk for a young lady at the time, but Lynda felt she was meant for something special. These early appearances, often for doormen or hotel employees in little settings, served as the foundation for Lynda Carter's incredible journey. She was a bullied teenager who turned to music and the Wonder Woman persona for courage, laying the groundwork for her later ascent to Hollywood. These early years were not just the start, but also a monument to the tenacity and will of a woman who would go on to become a worldwide symbol that would be revered for many decades. When Lynda Carter represented her native state of Arizona in the Miss World USA pageant in 1972, a new chapter in her life began. In addition to winning the hearts of the judges, Lynda's innate attractiveness, self-assurance, and compelling stage presence astounded audiences all around the country. Although she received a lot of attention after winning the coveted title, Lynda saw the crown as a stepping stone to a difficult and ambitious path rather than her ultimate goal. After winning, Lynda took a risk by relocating to Los Angeles to pursue an acting career. She earned her first part there in the 1976 movie Bobby Joe and the Outlaw. Despite not being a box office success, the movie was a significant turning point in her career. Particularly one scene, a bold naked scene that provoked much discussion at the time, attracted a lot of attention. Her admirers commended her for having the guts and tenacity to deviate from the ideal beauty queen persona and establish herself as a professional actor. However, some viewers who were used to Lynda's sophisticated and beautiful character also had issue with the scenario. The scenario, according to critics, was inappropriate for a Miss World USA winner and may damage her reputation. Later on, Lynda acknowledged that she regretted the choice and felt uneasy about it. She said that she hadn't really understood the long-term effects of being naked on television as a young actor. However, it turned out to be a useful lesson, reminding her how crucial it is to protect her values and reputation in the competitive Hollywood industry. Lynda continued to pursue her love of music in addition to her early acting endeavors. She showcased her singing ability and increased her stage confidence by performing cabaret at well-known places, including the Catalina Jazz Club and the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas. In retrospect, this was a difficult and defining time in Lynda Carter's career. To establish herself as an artist, she continuously experimented with positions and pushed limits. However, was her career suited for the daring sequence in Bobby Joe and the Outlaw? How do you feel about her choice? Tell us what you think. Lynda Carter's casting as Wonder Woman in the television series of the same name in 1975 was a significant turning point in her career. In addition to launching her from relative unknown to the position of the first female superhero icon on television, her role permanently altered popular culture and shaped millions of people's perceptions of her as a strong, self-assured woman. For this part, the casting process was anything from simple. Lynda's stunning attractiveness, self-assured manner, and captivating personality made her stand out among many excellent candidates. But there was also debate about her success as Wonder Woman. Some reviewers said that her depiction of Wonder Woman mostly focused on visual appeal rather than character depth, and that her popularity came more from her stunning beauty than from her acting abilities. In spite of this, audiences enthusiastically accepted her as a representation of bravery, strength, and tenacity. Lynda showed strong commitment to her work, disregarding the differing perspectives. The famous sequence in the endless 77 episode, when she dangled from a helicopter without safety belts or contemporary special effects, is only one of the numerous risky exploits she personally executed. It was only Lynda Carter floating in midair in her Wonder Woman outfit. She solidified her reputation as a real-life superhero by surprising the crew and audience with her audacious act. Acting was not the only thing Lynda contributed to the series. The now famous spin transition, in which Diana Prince transforms into Wonder Woman, was personally created by her. Future interpretations were inspired by this simple but powerful action, which became a hallmark of the character. Her contributions showed that Lynda wasn't only acting out a part, rather she lived it, and Wonder Woman became a vital component of who she was. Even after the show ended in 1979, Lynda Carter's interpretation of Wonder Woman remained popular. In addition to securing her place in entertainment history, her performance opened the door for other female superheroes to appear on small and large screens. After her spectacular success as Wonder Woman, Lynda Carter showed off another aspect of her brilliance by pursuing a career in music. In 1978, she released Portrait, her first album. Her love of music persisted even though it did not get much attention at the time, and in 2009 she had a spectacular comeback with her album At Last, which peaked at number 6 on the jazz charts. Additionally, Lynda expanded her work into the video gaming industry. She composed and sang 5 of the game's original songs, in addition to providing the voice of Magnolia in the highly regarded Fallout 4. This achievement demonstrated her unbounded inventiveness and exceptional capacity to succeed in a wide range of creative fields. Furthermore, Lynda's portrayal as Mama Morton in the London run of the musical Chicago left her imprint on the theater scene. In a deft allusion to her legendary performance as Wonder Woman, Diana also starred as the principal of a superhero training school in the 2005 comedy Sky High. Because of her brilliance, tenacity, and willingness to push boundaries, Lynda Carter has established herself as a lasting legend in the entertainment business. 2 very significant and dramatic weddings were among the highs and lows of Lynda Carter's personal life, which took place behind the glittering spotlight of Wonder Woman. She was profoundly impacted by each relationship, which shaped her path from the anguish of heartache to the delight of parenthood. When Lynda's career was at its peak in 1977, she married renowned manager Ron Samuels for the first time. But over time, their relationship became strained due to the demands of their jobs and basic disparities in their perspectives on life. Lynda struggled to strike a balance between duty and affection, and she often felt alone and constrained. A challenging period in her life began in 1983 when she and her spouse separated after 6 years of marriage. Lynda maintained her belief in love in spite of the upheaval. She met Robert Altman at a dinner party in 1982, only a year after her divorce, and that encounter would permanently alter her life. Lynda remembered how Robert's charisma, young vitality, and compelling presence drew her in right away. They became close quite fast, and 2 years later, they were married. James and Robert created a loving and happy household together. In addition to being a loving husband, Robert was also a fantastic father to their 2 children, Jessica Carter Altman, born in 1990, and James Clifford Altman, born in 1988. James avoided his mother's limelight by choosing a more quiet career path in technology and business. In contrast, Lynda's musical skill was passed on to Jessica, who pursued a career as a singer-songwriter and lawyer. Lynda often boasted about how proud she was of her kids, referring to them as her best assets. But the family had a significant upheaval in the middle of the happiness. Their lives were upended by an unforeseen shock at the beginning of the 1990s. A significant financial scandal involving the Bank of Credit and Commerce International, BCCI, ensnared Robert, a well-known lawyer at the time. The bank failed as a result of illicit financial operations and was charged with fraud. There were allegations that Robert had helped the bank hide illegal investments in the United States. Lynda Carter's name was unintentionally dragged into the media frenzy that swiftly erupted around the controversy. Lynda's carefully constructed image of Wonder Woman, strong, fair, and perfect, was abruptly put to the test. Rumors and news reports started to circulate, raising concerns about her image and her involvement in the affair. Lynda Carter resisted giving in the face of doubt and constant pressure from the media. She openly supported her spouse by going to court sessions with Robert. Lynda showed unflinching trust in his innocence by supporting him as a faithful partner and wife despite the circulating rumors. But that wasn't at all simple. Every public appearance she made at that time, she later said, felt like she was carrying the whole globe on her shoulders. Robert Altman was acquitted after months of procedures because there was not enough evidence to establish his deliberate participation in fraudulent activity. However, the scandal's wounds proved difficult to heal. Robert quit his job as a lawyer to pursue success with Cinemax Media in the video game business. Even though Lynda's admirers still adored her, this difficult time had a long-lasting effect on her reputation and image. However, the storm demonstrated that Lynda Carter was not just a fictional character, but also the real-life Wonder Woman. She didn't give up on her husband when he needed her most, nor did she break under public scrutiny. Rather, she met the difficulties with fortitude, devotion, and resolve, turning hardship into a chance to reaffirm her core beliefs. How do you feel about Lynda Carter's handling of this scandal? Does she also deserve the moniker of Wonder Woman in real life because of her tenacity? Lynda was handed a terrible blow that left her reeling just after she had overcome the court battles and media hysteria. Robert Altman's death in 2021 abruptly upended her whole existence. Lynda said that the first year after her husband's passing was quite difficult. She often had emotional crises as a result of the overwhelming feeling of loss after over 40 years of marriage. She admitted to crying at least 3 times a day, but she didn't feel guilty about it. Her words, "He deserved every tear." Lynda was in agony, but she didn't let it control her. Her second great passion, music, provided her both comfort and healing. After Robert's death, she penned the song Human and Divine as a method to deal with her intense feelings, as well as an homage to him. In the song, Lynda compared their love as a rainbow after a storm, describing it as both human and bright. Even though Lynda's grief has never completely gone away, she made the decision to stay on and use her experience to encourage others going through similar difficulties. She stressed that many families had similar losses during the COVID-19 epidemic. Her story is a powerful reminder that while suffering is an unavoidable aspect of life, what counts most is how we overcome it to live bravely and optimistically. In addition to the anguish and heartache of losing loved ones, Lynda Carter also had to deal with serious personal issues. Her fight with alcoholism, which at times seemed unwinnable, was one of the darkest periods of her life. Lynda once acknowledged that she started her addiction as a coping mechanism for the loneliness and personal stresses she experienced. I felt lost after her first marriage. In an interview, she said that waking up each day was a struggle with herself. She used alcohol as a way to avoid reality, but it also dragged her further into a dark hole. When Lynda's public image and job started to deteriorate, she knew she couldn't allow this to ruin her life. She remembered how everything changed when Robert Altman showed there. Lynda found the fortitude to fight back with her second husband's constant support and loving love. In addition to supporting her, Robert took her to a treatment facility outside of Washington, D.C., where Lynda started a torturous road to recovery from her addiction. She sought spiritual support from religion as well. "I had to face my fears and my pain," she said, "but I wasn't alone, and that saved me." Since then, Lynda has maintained her sobriety, turning her most difficult moments into lessons that have strengthened her. Despite her hardships, Lynda has had many memorable experiences in her life, some of which were heartwarming and others of which were amusing. One touching tale from the Wonder Woman set is about how Lynda's stunt double Jeannie Epper's kid was made fun of by his peers for saying his mother was the real Wonder Woman. Lynda made the decision to intervene. Rather of only reassuring the youngster, she asked the whole class to come to the set and see Jeannie's audacious antics. In addition to giving the youngster his confidence back, this kind act demonstrated Lynda's regard for her coworkers, who put in a lot of overtime behind the scenes. Not all of Lynda's special moments were just emotional. Her team won the tug-of-war category at the Battle of the Network Stars in 1976. Unaware that renowned presenter Howard Cosell was sporting a toupee, Lynda spilt champagne on him out of sheer enthusiasm. Howard was clearly upset by the occurrence, but Lynda was able to make it seem like a humorous recollection. After that, she would playfully apologize by bringing a bottle of champagne to his table whenever she saw him at a restaurant. "Howard always knew it was from me," she smiled as she recalled. From the gloom of addiction to the humorous accidents of daily life, Lynda Carter has always managed to transform her experiences into instructive moments. Her experience of adversity in addition to being a timeless movie star, people have come to identify with her because of her open, accessible moments. Over 40 years after she originally played Wonder Woman, Lynda Carter is still loved both on and off film. She has inspired millions of people across the globe with her courage, tenacity, and compassion, leaving a legacy that few can equal. In addition to bringing Lynda Carter renown, her position as Wonder Woman became her a symbol of feminism at a period when women's on-screen roles were often restricted. Diana Prince offered a fresh viewpoint as a strong, independent, and very kind heroine. Generations of women were greatly impacted by Lynda's depiction, which sent a message of power and confidence that went far beyond the confines of a television program. Numerous people have said how Lynda's Wonder Woman inspired them to take on obstacles and fearlessly follow their goals. Lynda continued beyond the screen. She made a significant impact by using her influence. She started taking an active part in charity activities, lending support to groups like the Susan G. Komen Foundation, USO, and the Red Cross. She provided thousands of troops stationed in isolated regions with real care among their sufferings by providing them with comfort and amusement throughout her USO trips. These deeds demonstrated not just her empathy, but also Wonder Woman's essence in the real world. Additionally, Lynda has been a strong supporter of the LGBTQ+ community. She has continuously promoted equality and acceptance as an ambassador at many Pride events, inspiring individuals who are struggling to live true to themselves. Numerous distinguished awards have been given in recognition of her efforts and services. She received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2018, a recognition that honors both her acting accomplishments and her standing as a figure who has moved millions of people. By accepting this honor, Lynda represented a generation of women who were influenced by Wonder Woman in addition to herself. In recognition of her legendary beauty and sense of style, she was previously admitted into the Hair Fans Hall of Fame in 2016. Beyond her roles and accolades, Lynda Carter's legacy is rooted in the timeless human principles she has spread around the globe. She has shown that a genuine icon endures not just in the recollections of viewers, but also in the enduring influence of the principles they instill. Today, Lynda Carter lives on 7 acres in a 20,000 square foot house. Her family's priceless memories are kept in the exquisite Anglo-French style mansion, with family portraits and mementos commemorating the significant turning points in her life and work. Every room of the home exhibits her exquisite taste and intense love. It is more than simply a haven, it is a wellspring of creativity that keeps her brilliant. For Lynda, music continues to play a significant role in her life. Her play, This Life, My Music, My Story, which she brought to New York in October 2023, captivated audiences with poignant tales interwoven with her music. Her duet with her daughter, Jessica Altman, was very well appreciated during the event. Jessica, who has inherited her mother's ability, highlights their strong relationship by bringing a certain emotional dimension to their performances at different occasions. When combined, they motivate audiences of all ages. Lynda and Jessica graced Jean-Paul Gaultier's runway presentation during Paris Haute Couture Fashion Week in January 2024. Their sophisticated attire and combined appearance turned into a main attraction, highlighting Lynda's lifelong love of fashion and honoring family togetherness on a global scale. Lynda's surprising moments continue to surprise and thrill her followers. She delighted crowds with a comical incident featuring Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool at a recent engagement. The public was reminded that the famous heroine still had her trademark warmth and humor when she appeared in her classic Wonder Woman suit. Lynda's humility and thankfulness, which she infuses into everything she does, are what make her so respected by both colleagues and admirers. She thanked the younger generation, especially Coco, who taught her contemporary posing methods at a Harper's Bazaar cover shoot in November 2023. Because of her humility and commitment to linking generations, Lynda said, "We need each other. When we share art and experience, we create value not just for today, but for tomorrow." Her words ensure that her legacy is alive and important. In order to preserve her health and vigor, Lynda also places a high priority on self-care. She avoids bad foods, eats a balanced diet, and works out often. As she effortlessly flourishes in every stage of her life, her positivity and determination make her radiant and continue to win others over. Lynda Carter has consistently changed her life, converting obstacles into strength and promoting humanist ideals, much like superheroes who spin their capes to go into combat. Her use of metaphor not only transformed the entertainment industry, but also left her audience with a lasting source of motivation. That classic twist transformed the idea of compassion and power, and it was more than simply a gesture on television. Wonder Woman was more than simply a character to Lynda Carter. It was a statement that everyone has the capacity to be a hero in their own tale. How do you feel about the living legacy of Lynda Carter? Does Wonder Woman's image still have resonance today? Please remember to press like and subscribe to our channel if you like this story so we can keep sharing more motivational tales with you. We appreciate you viewing, and we hope to see you in the future video. Let's transmit happiness and powerful principles to everyone in our vicinity.